Coming into Ball State, I had a group of friends that I spent almost all of my summer with. Um, and one of the friends followed me to Ball State. Two of the others went to different colleges, but we were still close. Me and that one friend that went to Ball State were really close, and we just continued to grow in our relationship with each other. And we were, again, just really close friends. And there came a day where we didn't really see eye to eye on something. And so what happened was I blew up. We had a big argument, and the friend group dropped me, like off the face of the earth, just like that. So that was really hard because they were also like Christian friends, you know. So that left me with like, oh, why is God putting them into my life to take them away, that kind of thing, over something so simple. My sophomore year of college, I roomed with one of my best friends from high school. And first semester again, he ended up dropping out. Not letting me know, just came in, moved his stuff out, and left. Leading up to this point, he was not on campus very much. He spent a lot of time with his girlfriend, stayed with her a lot. So he already wasn't going to class. He already wasn't in the room, that kind of deal. In that same time, I was talking to a girl and looking forward to like being in a relationship. It got to a point where she said she would rather just go and party and live for the world, basically. And that really hurt, obviously. And before my roommate moved out and everything, he already wasn't there very often. And he wasn't a great example, I should say. So he had a cooler of alcohol in his closet. So there were a lot of temptations through that time. So I was by myself. I was at my lowest mentally. My roommate and best friend wasn't there for a hot minute. Then I just got dropped by somebody that I cared a lot about. So there was a lot of temptation of like alcohol and just diving into that cooler because nobody would have known. The only friend that I talked to was down the hall, and he was going through his own things. So that was like the first time I like contemplated like drinking and legitimately suicide. Like I didn't want to be here. I can tell you right now that if I went to the alcohol in that cooler and not God, I don't know where I'd be right now. But God helped me a lot more than that cooler alcohol. Following that is where I like started to get back into my faith. And my first real experience with church came like junior year of high school when I went to a community group called Crew 2. I got it tattooed on me, so clearly it's pretty beneficial, pretty big in my life. And they are the reason that I didn't dive into that cooler or end my life. Started reading the verse of the day. I listened to more worship songs. I started praying more often, that kind of deal. So I was still growing in my faith by myself. And my grandpa had fallen like during the second semester at some point. And this was all during COVID, so I was already at home. I wasn't on campus, that kind of deal. But my grandpa had fallen during second semester, and we were told he'd be fine. Like I brushed it off because grandparents get hurt and go to the hospital all the time. This time it wasn't that. My grandpa ended up passing away, and my grandpa was really beneficial in my life, really big. My parents have been divorced since I was like 6 or 7, so they were like adamant figures in my life, especially my grandpa. So losing him while I'm growing by myself was really, really hard. In the past, I would have been mad at God. I would have been like, why is this happening, this, that, and the other. But rather than doing that, I prayed for strength to get through it. I prayed for understanding and that kind of deal, which was beneficial. And then fast forward a little bit more to junior year, first semester, I finally found like my own mentor kind of thing. Getting to know him was really beneficial for me. It allowed me to have a mentor of my own. And then shortly after that, I got invited to Crew, which is ministry on campus, by these girls I met at one of the dining halls. And since then, I have attended a men's retreat, spring break trip, a formal, all in that like time span of like being in Crew for like 2 months. So a lot of out of my comfort zone kind of things. out of that comfort zone trip, I grew so much. I think, so the spring break trip was in Fort Lauderdale, and I don't like the ocean, nor have I ever shared my faith, and we did both of those things. So I shared my faith with random strangers on the beach, college students even, who were college students on spring break. But it was actually like really fun. Like these guys and girls were just like open to having conversation. They were just open, and it was really weird because you don't think that when you're on spring break, interrupting somebody's spring break, going to talk about Jesus. So that was one point, like I shared my faith for the first time. So not only did I share my faith, I actively broke my fear of the ocean, at least a little bit, and went out further than I'd ever had before. So fast forward a little bit more to like senior year, I am now a community group leader in Crew. I've helped plan different events, all that fun stuff, and now I'm hopefully going to be an intern with Crew next year. So if you ever think that you're at your lowest and that God has left you, you just got to open up. You just got to ask. You just got to ask Him. If you ask God for help, He knows how to work with you. Like He created you. So how would He not know how to help you? That kind of thing. And God knows how to help me. And God knows where I grew up most. Through, out of my comfort zone and through people around me. And I'm ever thankful for it. I was somebody that was very conflicted. Like I was very profane, didn't live for the world but didn't follow Christ, that kind of thing. And now I'm a leader, I'm cared for, and I'm a role model to some of these people around me. So God has really set me up really well, just because I have a little faith.